Foods that help strengthen and detox the lungs. How to keep lungs healthy. The world that we live in today is not as pure and clean as that in which our ancestors used to live. Air pollution affects our lungs, which make them prone to numerous ailments. On top of that, we make our lungs suffer even more by smoking. Thus, it is essential for us to take good care of our lungs to live a healthy and disease-free. One important step towards this is through keeping a check on what we eat, whether they are healthy for our lungs or not. To be aware of this, here is a look at some food items that are good for lung health. Number 1 is a fatty fish. Fishes that are high in fat and are an excellent choice of food for healthy lungs, as they contain high levels of omega-3 fatty acids, which are linked with lung health. These are better known as poly-unsaturated fatty acids that are rich in anti-inflammatory, anti-carcinogenic, and anti-oxidative properties. All these properties in fish protect the lungs against all kinds of lung diseases and keep them healthy. Here are the best sustainable fish choices that are healthy for you and the planet. Plus, 5 to watch out for. Good fish. 1. Atlantic mackerel. This species is a fast-growing fish, meaning it can repopulate easily and handle higher amounts of fishing. The gear used to catch Atlantic mackerel is efficient and not likely to cause major habitat destruction, another reason this guy is an ocean-friendly choice. This strong-flavored fish is high in heart-healthy omega-3s, a good source of protein, delivering 20 grams in a 3-ounce fillet, and pairs well with bold seasonings. Number 2. The best fish to eat. Wild-caught Alaskan salmon. This is very crucial, and we will find out why. Wild-caught salmon from Alaska is low in contaminants, including mercury and lead, and comes from well-managed fisheries. To give you an idea of how well-managed Alaska's salmon fishery is, consider this: biologists are posted at river mouths to count how many wild fish return to spawn. If the numbers begin to dwindle, the fishery is closed before it reaches its limits, as was done recently with some Chinook fisheries. This close monitoring, along with strict quotas and careful management of water quality, means Alaska's wild-caught salmon are both healthier, they pack more than 1,500 milligrams of omega-3s per serving and carry few contaminants, and more sustainable than just about any other salmon fishery. Buying salmon in a can also makes a more affordable way to get this healthy seafood in your diet. Canned salmon is not just a great source of omega-3 fats, it is one of the best sources of non-dairy calcium. A 3-ounce serving has 18% of your daily needs. Canned wild salmon is typically sockeye or pink from Alaska, but you'll want to check the label to make sure. 3. Sardines, Pacific, wild-caught. The tiny, inexpensive sardine is making it onto many lists of superfoods, and for good reason. It packs nearly 1,200 milligrams of omega-3 fats per serving and is one of the very, very few foods that's naturally high in vitamin D. Many fish in the herring family are commonly called sardines. It's also one of few foods naturally high in calcium, packing 33% of your daily needs per serving. Quick to reproduce, Pacific sardines have rebounded from both overfishing and a natural collapse in the 1940s. 4. Rainbow trout and some types of lake. Rainbow trout, also referred to as steelhead trout, is one of the best fish to eat when it's farmed in the US or indoor recirculating tanks, according to Monterey Bay Aquarium Seafood Watch. Trout ranks just under canned pink salmon when it comes to omega-3 content and is a good source of potassium, selenium, and vitamin B6 while offering more than a day's worth of vitamin B12. Lake trout is a great alternative when it's sourced from the right places. Seafood Watch advises buying lake trout caught in Lake Superior's Minnesota waters. 5. Herring. Herring is a Nordic diet staple, and for good reason. It has a higher omega-3 content than sardines, trout, and mackerel. It's also an excellent source of vitamin D and selenium. You'll typically find herring that has been canned, cured, or smoked on restaurant menus, but it can also be eaten fresh. Seafood Watch recommends buying U.S. Atlantic herring caught with purse seines or California herring caught with set gill nets. If you haven't befriended your local fishmonger yet, they will help you figure out the sourcing methods of your desired fish. 5. Fish to avoid. A number of environmental organizations have also advocated taking many fish off the menu. The large fish listed below are just 5 examples. 1. Bluefin tuna. The World Wildlife Fund put the bluefin tuna on its list of endangered species, and Seafood Watch warns their populations are depleted and overfished. Bluefin have high levels of mercury and can be high in PCBs, so EDF recommends eating no more than 1 serving per month of this fish. 2. Orange roughy. This fish lives a long life but is slow to reproduce, making it vulnerable to overfishing. As Seafood Watch puts it, orange roughy lives 100 years or more, so the fillet in your freezer might be from a fish older than your grandmother. This also means it has high levels of mercury, causing EDF to issue a health advisory. 3. Salmon, Atlantic, farmed in pens. Most farmed salmon are raised in tightly packed, open-net pens often rife with parasites and diseases that threaten the wild salmon trying to swim by to their ancestral spawning waters. Open-net farmed salmon are often given antibiotics to combat diseases, and their food and waste pollutes the ocean. Freshwater farmed salmon have earned a best choice status from Seafood Watch, and some open-net systems are rated as good alternatives. See more salmon recommendations from Seafood Watch. There is hope that consumer pressure will encourage more farms to continue to adopt better practices. 4. Mahi-mahi, Costa Rica, Guatemala, and Peru. Imported, longline mahi-mahi, or dolphin fish, is rated as one of the least eco-friendly fish by the Environmental Defense Fund. There is concern about bycatch, including sea turtles, seabirds, and sharks, getting tangled in the fishing gear when mahi-mahi is fished. However, mahi-mahi caught in the US and Ecuador with troll lines is ranked under good alternative by Seafood Watch and is the better choice if you're hankering for this particular fish. 5. Halibut, Atlantic, wild. This fish grows and matures slowly, living as long as 50 years, so it is susceptible to overfishing. Consequently, because of the depletion of Atlantic halibut populations, the US prohibits commercial harvest of this breed, found in the North Atlantic Ocean, and Seafood Watch rates it a void. Pacific halibut is a good alternative, as it comes from well-managed fisheries with little habitat damage and low rates of other marine life being caught as bycatch.
In this video, we learned more about what fish to choose to get the trace minerals we need for health and how not to harm our planet. Learn more about foods that strengthen and detoxify your lungs, how to keep your lungs healthy. Subscribe to the channel to be healthy and live longer. Bye for now.